Anyways, next question. Let me see. Thank you. If you can make your own Jurassic Park or World video game, what would it be about and what would it be called? Good question. I would want to make a Jurassic Park game, considering we got like a buttload of Jurassic World games now. So I would make another Jurassic Park game, but instead of taking place on Isla Nublar, it would take place on Isla Sorna. And the game that I would make, it will basically somewhat be similar to Until Dawn, where your choices affect the game very deeply. Whatever choice you make, it's affected by the game, and it's, it's definitely, I'll make it for similar to Until Dawn. And, I'll make it just as terrifying, if not even more terrifying than Until Dawn. And, let me see, and I will add a buttload of new dinosaurs, even dinosaurs that appeared in the Lost World novelization. As for what I would call it, I would probably call it Jurassic Park: The Nightmare Begins. And it will basically be about these human characters got stranded on Isla Sorna, and they had to find a way to contact for help while at the same time trying to gather resources, and of course avoid being eaten by the other dinosaurs. So, yeah. Next question. I have 3 questions. 1. What are your top 5 favorite moments from both the novelization of Jurassic Park and Lost World? Question 2. Will you make your own Jurassic World AU? And finally, question 3. If you can make your own Jurassic Park or movie, what would it be about? What would it be called? And will you include some scenes of the novelization of both Jurassic Park and The Lost World? Whew, that's a mouthful. To answer the first question, my top 5 favorite moments of both novelizations of Jurassic Park and Lost World are going to be the juvenile, the river raft scene, the long grass scene, the Carnotaurus scene, and what else? I guess the high scene. And to answer the second question, yes, I will make my own Jurassic World AU. I'm currently busy with my own MonsterVerse AU, but I'm almost done, honestly. I'm almost done, and I will make a post about it. So, yeah, like I said, I'm almost done, so don't worry. And finally, to answer the third question, I might make a movie that takes place in between the first Jurassic Park movie and the second movie. And the same thing goes for the second movie and the third movie. I haven't come up with any names yet, but basically, or what it will be about. But yeah, I would make movies that take place in between the first and second movie, and in between the second and third movie. And And to answer the last part of that question, yes, I will include a bunch of scenes of the novelization. Well, maybe not all parts of the novelization, but only scenes that I personally enjoyed. So, yeah. How would you react if I told you that my creator plans to get me a Godzilla Final Wars form, which I will be my final design and the final, I mean, good for you, I guess. Alright, last question. What is your favorite chapter in the Kaiju Girl comic series? Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to say it's a tie between chapter 7 and chapter 10. Because I like those chapters the most. There's a lot of Jurassic questions, are there? Probably because Chaos Theory Season 3 is right around the corner. So, do you prefer a live-action Jurassic series or an animated Jurassic series? I prefer a live-action, because in the Chaos Theory and Chaos Cretaceous series, they mostly cut away from the gruesome deaths. And I understand why they're doing that, because those shows are mainly for kids. But I highly doubt that, considering they're including so much dark scenes like that. You might as well make it into a live-action series and include the gruesome deaths. But yeah, I would prefer a live-action series more than an animated series. So, we know each of your forms, like Mega Kaiju, Dinosaur, Dragon, and even your Titan form, have a history on where they come from and stuff. But what about your human form? The human form has always been with me, because I was going to mention that some Mega Kaijus in the Megaverse have human forms, but they don't use it a whole lot. But I decided to change that and only include that into the Super Final Wars stories. So, yeah. Who is the weakest Mega Kaiju in the Megaverse? Mega Gabara. He's the weakest. If he was the weakest Kaiju in the Godzilla universe, then he's the weakest Kaiju. Then he's the weakest Mega Kaiju in the Megaverse. What do you think about the ship between Copa and Fitani? I think it's a pretty cute ship. I like it, honestly. I honestly really do like that ship. I don't know where the idea came from for people to ship those two characters, but hey, they ship them, so if anything, I think it's a pretty cute ship. We have a Velociraptor squad and a Atrociraptor squad. My question is, what do you think it would be possible for a Utah Raptor squad? If so, or do you think they'll be even more dangerous than the other two squads? I don't really know, honestly. I mean, it depends. It depends. If they decide to do a Utah Raptor squad, then I don't know. It depends. As for how dangerous they'll be, that's even tougher than answering the first part of that question, honestly. Because it's hard to tell to decide on how dangerous the Utah Raptor is going to be. Like, are they going to be even more dangerous than the other two squads, or not as dangerous as the other two squads? So if anything, it depends. It depends. Do you think that Godzilla the Ride is canon to the -1 timeline? I don't know. On one hand, I want to say it is, but on the other, a part of me is just like, wait a minute, what if it's just like by pure chance that those two Godzillas look very similar, and have the same director? So if anything, I would say no for now, until Takashi Yamazaki confirms that Godzilla the Ride is canon to the -1 timeline. When you are making a Godzilla story, what voices appear in your head to voice all, at least the majority, of the kaiju characters? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. I honestly don't know, honestly. Because it's hard to figure out which actor should voice this kaiju. So if anything, I would say in the end, it's kind of a mystery question that's left unanswered. What if Disney decided to make Copa an actual character? If they do, then they'll have to follow the way that the Lion King fandom is having Copa to be. And basically to have him to be the firstborn, Kiara to be the secondborn, and Kion as the thirdborn. And if they do that, if they did make Copa an actual character, then this would mean that Kiara would be the leader of the Lion Guard, not Kion. And plus, who knows, maybe they might actually make the ship between Copa and Vitani actually happen. And I think it would be very interesting. What if there was more T-Rexes on Isla Nublar? Good question. I would say if there was more T-Rexes, and you didn't say how many, so I'm going to pick a number myself, I would say 5. If there was more than 5, like say 5 T-Rexes on Isla Nublar, then I would say that there'll be a very steady population of T-Rexes on Isla Nublar, because who knows, since it was already shown in Jurassic Park that the dinosaurs were now officially able to reproduce on their own, then I would say that most likely Rexy would have had a mate and offspring. So, yeah. It would basically make Rexy feel less lonely. What if the Godzillosaurus was real? Then there'll be a huge chance that we might actually get a real-life Godzilla. Not something similar to a scientifically accurate Godzilla, which that is what I've been seeing on the internet. But, yeah, I think we would most likely get a real-life Godzilla. Nothing similar to a scientifically accurate Godzilla, but, yeah, we would get a real-life Godzilla. How dangerous do you think a Utahraptor will be in the Jurassic franchise? Once again, to that question earlier, I don't know. It depends. It depends on how dangerous they decide to make the Utahraptor be in the Jurassic franchise.